Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Threezero 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review video. Now today we are taking a look at Rambo, based off his appearance in Rambo 3. Now when I reviewed the Sly Stallone Shop Rambo from First Blood, plenty of y'all told me, "Hey Justin, why the heck don't you have the Threezero version? He's a really good figure." And you know what? You all had a point, so I went out immediately and found one, and here we are. Now if you do enjoy seeing reviews on 1/6 scale figures, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon and join button for more info on Justin's Collection Plus, the channel membership. As for the box art, yeah, I absolutely love it. This might just be my favourite Threezero box art ever. Up top, John Rambo, front and center, this kind of soft 80s movie poster style image, but it works perfectly here. On the side, a quote that says, "God would have mercy, John Rambo won't." Down below, this metallic red Rambo 3 logo, the same thing on the side of the box, plus his bow and arrow. On the back, the warnings and legal info, another image of Sly as Rambo, and some more lettering that says, the first was for himself, the second for his country. This time it's to save his friend. If you haven't seen Rambo 3 or heck, any of the other Rambo films, they're definitely worth a watch. Then come back and check out this review. Now I do have the Threezero First Blood Rambo on the way, and you bet we'll be doing some comparisons back to the Sly Stallone Shop version. First in-hand impressions for this guy though are relatively positive. What we are going to do now though is get all of his accessories laid out in the light box and take a closer look at everything he comes with. Now normally I'd be saying starting off with the display base first, but unfortunately in this instance we simply don't get one. Threezero, going forward with your premium 1/6 scale figures, please give us bases. Your figures deserve it, plus printing some really awesome Rambo artwork on the surface. Yeah, it would have been a nice touch. Starting off with the RPG first, yeah, it looks really good. It's rather large, it's all made of plastic, but it's painted beautifully. There's weathering, there's dry brushing, and you have a couple of moving parts and pieces for the sight up the top. And yes, you can actually remove the grenade. It's a rather large stem, and when you push it in, it locks in position nice and securely. Next up we have his AK, and yeah, this has a bunch of moving parts as well. We can open up the grenade launcher, and you do get a grenade that you can slide inside. When you close it up, that grenade is now stored in there. You can also remove the magazine with some painted and sculpted bullets up on top. You can fold the stock. Plus you have a fire selection switch, a real opening ejection port, and you can even move the sights up and down. Plus, on top of all of that, it's beautifully painted. There are washes in the crevices, there's a little bit of dry brushing, and there's also brown where it needs to be. When it comes to explosives, you do get one charge with a little screen up on top and a couple of colored buttons, and yes, it does a decent job of looking like plastic explosive. And you get a bag to store it in. The bag itself has some real metal eyelets, you've got some real working clips, plus a strap, a pocket around the back, plus of course, once you open it up, you can store stuff inside, potentially like this explosive. It's also all fabric, and it's very well weathered. This, I guess, is a precursor to the bow and arrow, but you do get this quiver. It's got multiple real pockets with real working zips, it's made of pleather, and it's absolutely filthy. Just like the other bag, yeah, plenty of weathering. You've got a strap around the front, plus a pouch up the top that you can open up with a press stud and slide the arrows into it. But of course, you do have another option for storing the arrows if you decide not to use this. And that's a rack on the side of the compound bow. They slide in position and lock in place. The bow itself is cast in black plastic with some silver dry brushing on the surface. You've got some real elastic strings around the back, so yes, you can actually have him firing this. and in terms of arrows, you get 5 in total. 3 explosive tipped arrows with that kind of copperish color, then 2 just regular silver arrows. Lastly, we do get a full array of hands ranging from weapon holding to weapon firing to arrow shooting to open palm hands. The sculpting is on point, however, they are very tan, just like Rambo himself. At the very least, the skin texture is really well painted. Standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything like that. Threezero, congratulations, y'all have leveled up. I didn't know they were capable of making something as good as this. And that's not to say their previous works are bad. Their Transformers are amazing, their creatures really good. But when it comes to figures of actual people, sometimes they're a bit hit or miss. This guy, though, is way more hit than miss. And for me, it's not really what I was expecting. There were so many opportunities for Threezero to stuff this up, but they didn't. They pulled through. And in my mind, they've made one of the all-time greatest Rambo figures ever. The head sculpt, incredible. The proportions, really good. The outfit hugs the body in all the right places, it's suitably weathered. Plus you do have places for all of the weapons, and the outfit itself is all fabric, so it's great for posing. That being said, he does have a seamless body, which I think lends itself to this outfit for Rambo. But I know that's not going to be for everyone. The icing on the cake would have been some swap-out jointed arms, but for me, I still really like the way this guy looks. Up close and personal, the first thing I want to discuss is the head sculpt, but before we do that, I quickly want to mention how light the body is. I wasn't expecting that, because the Sly Stallone Shop version is really hefty. But this one weighs practically nothing. It's not to say that this feels cheap, but it's just something I've noticed. Now, the head sculpt itself is incredible. This is, without a doubt, in my opinion, Threezero's best work ever. The likeness to Sly Stallone is absolutely there. The skin texture, the paint applications, the way they've done the hair, all checks from me. You also have a real fabric bandana that pokes out the back of the hair and does extend up underneath the fringe itself. Now, comparing the head sculpt to the Sly Stallone Shop version, which is based off Rambo 1, there is a significant size difference. Sly Stallone Shop's one is bigger and the skin tone also is slightly lighter. I do like them both, but if I had to pick my favourite, honestly, I wouldn't be able to do it. Do let me know which is your favourite down in the comments below. Rambo 3 was set in Afghanistan. It's dusty there. There were explosions, there were bullets flying everywhere, and it makes sense that his outfit is absolutely filthy. There's dirt and grime in all the seams and the edges, front and back. Plus all the way down to his boots on the pants as well. Now the vest is a little bit cleaner, but seeing as though the jacket would be covering it up and taking most of the debris, that kind of makes sense, at least for me. Now this is all fabric. You've got some buttons along the front, plus 4 real working pockets. You also have the necklace from Rambo 2, but I'm pretty sure the pendant was supposed to be green rather than white, like they've done here. Now you can of course remove these layers to expose the seamless body. I don't know about you all, but my favourite look for Rambo is this right here. The black tank top, ditch the outer jacket, but now you can see the fully seamless arms. And yeah, they look really good. There's a ton of skin texture, I love the paint applications, you've got some musculature and of course the vein work. But unfortunately, I don't know how they missed this, seeing as it's literally on the front of the box. He's missing his scar from the first movie. I don't know, as I said, how they missed this. Fingers crossed with future Rambo figures they correct that issue. I also like that they fully painted the wrist pegs. I don't think I've ever seen that before, but it just makes it look that little bit more seamless. Now if you are sliding on and off his jacket, please be careful. Introducing friction onto the rubbery style arms can tend to rub away the paint, like this spot right here, and that wasn't really from doing anything crazy. But having that material really tight up against this fully painted rubber, yeah, it could cause you some issues. He's also wearing his watch on one side, which nicely hides that wrist peg. If only the rubber extended down even further, then he would have looked even more seamless. Now the upper torso is also full rubber, just like the arms themselves. Even though I don't think it's super necessary, I did switch out the neck connector for the shorter one because that's what the instructions tell you to do when he's not wearing his jacket, and the proportions are still really good. He's big, he's bulky, he's absolutely ripped. You can see all the musculature, the striations, and the paint applications, which look suitably realistic. Although, once again, he is rather tanned, which is accurate to the movie. You've got some scarring along the front on his pecs, but for some reason I still don't know why they missed that scar right there. You can also see that the arms are pegged in separately to the body, which is great for articulation and when you're sliding on and off his tank top. But still, be careful, the friction of this rubbery piece cupping over the top of the shoulder can definitely cause some paint rub, as you can see on mine right there. Also, because the head is now sitting a little bit lower, his hair is rather prickly. When you are rotating it left and right, please make sure it's not rubbing too much, because these sharp pieces could once again eat away at the paint on the rubbery surface. His belt area is relatively simple, it's literally just a piece of fabric with a real metal belt buckle, and you do have his knife in the included sheath. It does sit in there nice and securely, and of course you can remove it. Although, for me, I'm probably just going to leave it in there. The pants are really nice and weathered. There's a ton of dirt and grime on his knee area, which kind of makes sense if he's kneeling down and shooting or using his bow and arrow. But the rest of the pants are also quite well weathered. Coming down to the boots, it's an asymmetrical design. You've got a knife on one side, which, yes, is fully removable. And the boots themselves are one fixed solid piece of rubber. That means you don't get a ton of articulation, but they are a little bit squishy, so you do get just a little. I like the sculpt in laces, there's a little bit of texture, dirt and grime on the surface, as well as all of the copyright info and the Threezero logo down below. For a quick side-by-side comparison, here we have the Sly Stallone Shop Rambo on the right and the Threezero version from Rambo 3 on the left. As you can see, Threezero's version is shorter, and as I've said a couple of times, he's a lot more tanned. Plus, his outfit is all black and he has a seamless body. Now, it's all down to personal preference, which you prefer. I like them both. I like having the evolution of the character in the display, and fingers crossed one day, Threezero or even Sly Stallone Shop decides to make a Rambo 2 figure. So then we can have all three looks for Rambo in the collection. Going over articulation, do bear in mind this is my personal copy of the figure, so I'm going to be a little bit more careful. I've also left off his shirt so you can actually see how the seamless body is moving. Starting off with the head sculpt, it's on a double ball peg looking forward and back, swivel and pivot side to side. The arms will go up on clicky ratchets to there, they will go forward and back, butterfly joint at the shoulder that also hinges up and down, a double bend at the elbow that also incorporates a swivel, plus a regular 1/6 scale wrist peg. The torso will crunch forward and back, swivel and pivot side to side. The legs do go forward to there, they do go out to there, swivel at the upper thigh, double bend at the knee that does get you past 90, and then of course a double ball peg down here for the ankle. Wrapping up on Threezero's John J. Rambo from Rambo 3. Going into this, I was really excited, but at the same time, a little nervous. Threezero absolutely kill it with Transformers. They do an amazing job with creatures, but when it comes to actual people, sometimes they struggle just a little. Here though, they are firing on all cylinders. more cylinders than I even thought they had, to be totally honest. If Threezero can put out this level of quality, I am super excited to see what they have coming out next. Because if they keep firing on those cylinders, then yes, we may have a rival for hot toys in the shape of Threezero. The accessories are great. The body is very well proportioned, although the paint is a little fragile. It's still almost entirely seamless. Plus, the articulation is relatively decent. You've got multiple outfit options, and then one of the best head sculpts I have ever seen for Sylvester Stallone in 1/6 scale. Now, I know this figure isn't going to be for everyone, but it's definitely for me. For more reviews on 1/6 scale figures, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.